So please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here? Is this is this really happening? You met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
But you're more in the category like Luther Richter, Arnold, paint.
My man. Okay. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. Oh God! And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how do you do it? Teach me something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but.
Wait, hold up. I got to
when it's
try
time,
this.
When it's time to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal
show. Yes. Yes. Put your hands together. Why? Because you got through the first day of the Mondays. You got through the first day of the week. You got through your case of the Mondays. If you know what I'm talking about, give me a thumbs up or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We got through it. We're through it. One down, and 4 more to go until what? The weekend. But here it is, man. I'm going to say something real quick. I'm a little upset. You want to know why I'm a little upset? Okay, so we have our president, right? We have our leader of our free world going on the news saying that we're going to be locked up for another 30 days, right? Then just about an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago, maybe an hour ago, I'm not sure. Time is flying for me. An hour ago, we get our own state, Missouri's own governor say that it's going to be another 30 to 60 days. In between something like that. 30 to 60 days. Not just 30 days. A possibility of that 6-0. That 6 zilch. 6D days. Not 16. I did not stutter. 60. There's a good possibility of 60, y'all. 60 days. Damn. Ain't that about a female dog? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, obviously, we have this new information, and, I'm obviously, I'm dealing with it as much as I can, just like anybody else. Like I said before in the morning show, we can't sit here and try not to believe the hype, because the hype is real. There are so many videos out here right now with people taking videos of forklifts carrying bodies and putting them in the back of 1 to 2 ton trucks. Like, this stuff is real, y'all. This stuff is very, very real. All right. But I have to say, and I always say, I've been saying this a lot lately, and I mean this, and there's a reason why I mentioned this, so I'm going to get into it. Big shout out to all the people that are standing in the front lines, literally, that are dealing with every single person, dealing with this disease and this virus, it's face on, like dead on, all the nurses, doctors, I can't commend you guys enough for being brave, getting out there, risking your lives, standing on your feet for more than 13 hours a day, not getting any sleep, not getting any time to really, I just commend y'all. I can't even explain what I feel inside, because like I said before, if it was up to me, I wouldn't be doing it. Maybe I'm just a jerk for saying that, but I know a lot of people, if I put them in that situation and say, what would you do? I know for a fact a lot of people would go running the other way. So I have to say a big, huge thank you to all you people that are in the healthcare services, every last one of you, everyone from the nurse practitioners, the doctors, the techs, to everything, to every single person that's in there. Because it is scary as all get out, and you guys get to see this stuff firsthand every single day. Sometimes you can't even escape it. You go home, but you're only going home for maybe a few hours, only to pop back up and be right back out there. Or some of these nurses and some of these doctors aren't even going home. They're just living literally in the hospital. They're living with this stuff. So I just have to say, mad love and props to all you out there that are risking it all for the regular general public's well-being. Like I said, I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how y'all do it. It's I commend y'all. It's some scary stuff, I'm very excited because I got somebody that's going to be on the show here in a little bit. It's going to be really dope. I'm excited because he's a meteorologist for KSDK's Channel 5 here in St. Louis. He's a very, very great human being. He's very dope, very great guy. He's going to be on here in a few minutes here. So we're going to wrap it with him. And then there's a little conversation I wanted to talk to you about, a little Let's Talk segment. You know, it's very, very small, but it's something that I just found very interesting. And it has to do with our nurses. It has to do with our nurses. And it has to do with nurses that are quitting. There's a lot of nurses that are quitting right now, which I find very, very interesting. And so I definitely want to bring that up because we need you guys more than anything. And we're losing you guys. We're losing a lot of nurses because they're getting worked to the bone. And they're also being put in some pretty compromising situations that, yeah, I'll explain in a little bit, you know. I'll talk about that here in a little bit, for sure, because there's a video. I want to show that, the whole nine, and you know, I want to get everybody's opinions on it. So stay tuned for that, but definitely stick around because we're going to be rapping with my boy Anthony Slaughter of Channel 5 News. I'm just really looking forward to picking his brain about everything that's going on in the news station, how he's not doing his weather in the news station right now, how he's dealing with his kids and trying to balance work at the same damn time, because it must be really tough, you know, trying to do that and be on camera, like trying to do what you do, deliver the news, nothing but the news, and then have to deal with screaming kids in the background. Must be very interesting to deal with on the daily now, since kids are going to be locked up till the end of April, pretty much to the start of May. Oh my gosh, it's terrible, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Looks like my camera froze on me. Gotta love that stuff. Let's try that again. That's weird. Wow, that's funny. Gotta love that stuff. Totally normal. When your camera just freezes on you, totally normal. Just so you guys know. Totally. Totes normal. Anyway. Moving on, while this thing is losing its damn mind, I'm going to try this again. Unbelievable. You guys get to see how dirty my desk really is. So, anyway, I digress. I'm interested to see what you guys think in regards to this conversation, because we are going to have a conversation after this interview. It's going to be really, really interesting because, like I said, the video and the situation that's happening in the video and the topic that we're going to talk about is kind of sensitive. So just be prepared. It's going to be an interesting conversation. But like I always say, if this is your first time checking out the show, please go click that like button on our Facebook and our YouTube page. Go smash, as I always say, go smash that YouTube subscribe button. It would really mean a lot. And of course, we have our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Pascal Show. Go crush that like button. Anyway, I'm going to go into a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be sitting down and talking with the man, Anthony Slaughter. This is The Pascal Show. We'll be right back. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
Imagination, Image a World. IDEX Media.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, baby.
Hey, it's Mike from Sugarfire. Still open all of our locations. Carry out, delivery, curbside. Call in. We're delivering outside of our range to you. So if you get hungry, come on by.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. We got somebody very special in the house. But before I get started with that, because he's really not that important, so it's really about me. So I'm totally kidding. But if this is your first time checking out the show, please go click that like button on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Pascal Show. And, of course, we have our YouTube channel. Go crush that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, the whole nine. Okay? Anyway, I have somebody very special on. He is a meteorologist for Channel 5, KSDK's Channel 5. All right? 5 on your side. All right? Please welcome my brother, Anthony Slaughter. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Oh, you know, same old thing. You know, different day. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying?
What day is it now? How long has it been?
No kidding. You know what I mean?
I'm losing count.
I'm losing count myself because I have no. I'm losing. I'm forgetting that it's been 2 weeks. Like it's been 2 weeks basically since everything's since everything's gone down. But from my understanding, you just got This is just like your first. You just got done with week 1 being isolated from home, correct?
Yeah. So when the lockdown went in place, we could still go back and forth to work, and then slowly they got people's home studio set up. So now mine is set up, and I've gotten very familiar with my basement. Almost too familiar.
Word.
It's like all I want to do is sleep all day.
and there's nothing wrong with that, man. And the thing is like I'm curious because obviously you're doing everything from home. I think the only person that's still at the station right now is Rennie Knott, correct?
He's one of the only on-air people. There are still a few people behind the scenes that get the show on air every day. But there's about 8 people in the building. Wow. All the salespeople that work upstairs on the 3rd floor. It's roughly about 30 of those. None of them are at work. I mean, it's been ghost town.
Yeah.
So
facts.
Yeah, kind of eerie.
Yeah. Like, every morning I turn on to Channel 5. Literally, I do every single morning because I'm watching the Today Show, and of course you're on there too during the Today Show, and I'm watching all that. But the one thing I've noticed is that your butt isn't on that screen anymore. So, and all I hear is voiceover. So I'm wondering, how does that work? How do you guys make this whole thing? How is that all working? How's that all working out?
So, when you're at work, you have all the technology you need. You've got the green screen, the chroma key, the screens everywhere. And producers and directors, they're crucial to our job. They're the ones that make us look good. They are the ones that punch up the graphics and roll the animation. Mm-hmm. And the fact that we're not in the studio, everything is kind of just, kept as simple as possible. So there aren't any, noticeable mistakes. And so one thing you'll see now is, like you said, just the graphics. You won't necessarily see me as much because it's easier for what we have set up. Now, there are some technologies that you can use where you have like a double box where you have the graphics and the person in the screen.
Right.
But I don't really have a good work desk per se here at home.
Word.
So I kind of have to step off the screen to get to my laptop to advance the graphics. So it's a little, we're kind of like working with what we got,
Yeah.
It's not a perfect world, at least this isn't right now, and obviously what's going on. But we're making it work.
I mean, it's babies. It's baby steps, right? I mean, it's something for now. I mean, at least you guys are able to still communicate together. And operate.
And just like this, there's like a little bit of a delay, so there's kind of this awkward chemistry because you're waiting for the next person to talk and you don't want to talk over them. And So it's just strange, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what is one of the benefits of working from home right now, in the line of work that you do?
You know, everybody always says like try to look on the positive side, and I got to tell you, it's been really hard looking at the positive side because some folks are like, oh, you get to be home with your kids more, and you know, I'm like, yeah, but anyone who has kids know that they, you know, they're God's biggest blessings, you know.
Absolutely. I ain't got no kids, but I'm telling you, oh man,
it's so weird. I do feel like my whole house and like my finances, everything is very organized right now. Like I know where all of my money's going, or where it's not really going anywhere because we're sitting at home. I'm not using any gas and hardly getting, eating out.
Yeah.
House is clean. All the laundry's done. I've dusted. I've fluffed pillows. It's like, what else can I do?
Right. You try to find anything to keep your body, like keep your busy body moving because
I started reading again.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? You're like, whoa, I'm actually picking up a book. This is weird, man. I'm not waiting for the movie to come out.
With paper on.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I mean, I've always found it interesting because I'm a workaholic too. I like to, I'm a busybody. I like to be busy working all the time. I find myself even when I just stop moving for just a little bit, I feel like I'm being useless, So I'm always trying to find some kind of excuse to get up and move and just keep things going and everything, So
that's been the hardest thing for me. Is staying active. It's so easy to just eat a meal and just sit down.
Yeah. And do nothing.
And then go take a nap and then wake up and do the same thing over again.
Yeah, and just like binge watch something terrible and then you know what I'm saying? Eat all the snacks, because you're going, well, I'm not really working out and I'm not really doing anything else. So why not?
It's a vicious cycle, my friend.
It is a vicious cycle. But one day I truly believe one day we are all going to sit here and go, man, that time when we were just home for a month was really awesome, though. One day we will look back and go, yeah, I appreciate it. It'll still be that. You remember that one time? But still, we'll still really appreciate it. I think once it's all said and done.
The thing that I think is really interesting in all this, with my science background, is what you see happening right now. How everybody's kind of shut in at home and can't travel and can't live life like normal.
Right.
It's almost kind of how the Earth acts. A lot of people say like climate change and all of the things that are happening with the world now, as far as the atmosphere goes. It's so surprising, but it's very very cyclonic. Everything is a cycle, and like when the Earth gets too hot, it'll cool itself off. That's why you have ice ages, and that's why you have global warming. And so it's kind of like what you see happening now, just on a bigger scale and kind of in a more of a humanity scale as not necessarily an atmospheric scale. But it's really interesting to see how there's something out there that can just kill us like that.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's the scariest part, that there's something that I can't see. I walk outside and I could just, boom, just be done.
Right.
Like, to me, that just blows my mind.
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it as well, because it's very wild to me that, I mean, you can go touch a handrail and all of a sudden you're gone. Yeah. All of a sudden, 48 hours later, you could be dead.
Oh, I know. I mean, even going to the park, I'm just conscious of like the bench that I sit on, and even when you go to the grocery store, the cart that you use. I mean, it's really eerie. Just the whole, it's almost like a sci-fi film that you really can't create.
Right. It is like a sci-fi movie. It is.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that this is not something that we can shoot down. You know what I mean? This is not something that we can, this is like this invisible thing that we cannot, this untangible, invisible thing that we can never grasp to and we can never explain. And the thing is that it's constantly changing. There's constant news every single day about it. There's speculations and theories and hypotheses, CCs, or whatever you want to call it, but there's never a solid thing, which is so wild to me, because it's just such a new thing, it's so wild to me. But I got to ask you, man, I mean, I'm going to be real. So I hate to ask you this, and I'm not trying to expose anybody or make anybody look bad at the news station. Okay. This is not my goal. But I'm just curious, who was the first person saying, I'm going home, bye? Like, I'm going to go home, I'm sorry. Who's the first one to fold?
Well, the funny thing is, unlike you're your own boss. I have a boss. And so I answer to my boss and sometimes bosses. And so it was none of our calls to make that decision. Our bosses got together and said, these are the people who are going home this week.
Gotcha.
And then the next week came out and said, we got these home studios set up. Now let's get 4, 5, and 6 studios set up. And as they got home studios set up, they let people go and work from home little by little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I figured
some people can work from home easier, like the web department. All those people can do everything from home.
Oh, of
but
course.
like on-air talent, you just start to think like, how many people do we really need in the building?
Right.
For a long time they thought, oh well, we really need weather in the building, and they said, well, you can do all that from home. They're like, well, let's do it. And so I mean, it's just kind of been like a domino effect of just let's keep everybody as far away from possible. That's why you only have Rennie in the studio.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's nobody else that's in the studio with them.
Yeah.
And so that's a safe distance.
Right.
Whereas even if I was in the studio, if I had it and contracted it, and even if I was 6 feet away, there's still that kind of guessing game of like, well, did I ever come 6 feet within him? Or, we just want to kind of eliminate all of that.
Oh,
in fact, we don't even have managers at the station. Nobody's been at the station other than just literally less than 10 people a day.
Man.
And that's just in their efforts to keep everybody safe, which I appreciate, because you start to hear a lot of these other companies that aren't doing the same thing. These delivery drivers, you would think like, whoa, they're not getting hand sanitizer? You think that's kind of a given. I mean, when this all started happening, it was Clorox wipes all over the station. So,
yeah.
I mean, I appreciate their efforts, but at the same time, I really do miss going to work. Because for me, with, having kids, that was kind of my break to get away.
Of course.
And then come home and then do it all over again.
Right.
Now it's just, I'm in the fire all day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And now, again, especially given the fact that the kids are can't go to school or anything, it's kind of like,
and then now I teacher, so it's like, not only do I not get the break, but I've also got to pick up this extra burden. I mean,
oh yeah,
like you were saying, we'll look back on this and laugh. I really hope that this is an eye opener to a lot of people as far, speaking to our government, because teachers, for the longest, we know they've been underpaid. And I think this is an eye opener for all the parents, for the people in the government, to see like how bad we need our teachers. Like, we take it for granted, but seriously, I mean, hats off to the teachers watching and out there. I mean, this gives me such a new respect.
Oh,
have
absolutely.
To do this every single day, and I only just work with 1 or 2 kids, but like with 30 kids, like I'd be pulling my hair out at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, for any parent right now, this, I'm sure these are trying times, but at the same time, it's like, all right, well, there are a lot of there's a lot of men and women at the hospital right now that wish that they could be with their children too. That would rather be with their kids than in the forefront, at the front lines of this terrible, terrible pandemic. But most definitely, it's still just madness. Like, the whole situation is just absolute madness. So then let me ask you this. Then why is Rennie ever going to leave the station, or is he going to stay there for good? Like, why is he still there then?
He goes home when his shift is over.
Gotcha.
And then he just comes back the next day. So he's not like, locked down at the station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was just curious, like, or are you guys going to switch? You know what I mean? Is somebody else going to switch over with him? And you know what I mean? Like,
no.
that's crazy.
It's funny because when the first list came out, it was me, Allie, Monica, and Rennie were all in the studio, and we just came back from the meeting. They said, "Oh, Allie's going home," and we were all like, "Huh?" And then we all said, "Why isn't Rennie going home?" Yeah. And then we were all like, "Well, he's in the risk category," We all started, and they were like, "Yeah, that's." Maybe she has a baby, maybe that's why. Yeah. So we were kind of like speculating. We kind of did the same thing you guys are doing. I was like, well, then who's next? And then they're like, so then the next day they're like, Anthony's going home. And then for another week I stayed, and then they sent Monica home, and then they said, oh, Anthony's going home. And so then I finally went home.
Right.
So it's just kind of been one of those things where every day the station is being very upfront about, hey, we are taking all measures to be cautious and transparent with you guys about what we're doing. And like I said, I really appreciate that, because I couldn't imagine them not giving us Clorox wipes or hand sanitizer or just taking any little measure for us. Could you imagine if we were all still in the station and all huddled up together and all taking group pictures, and they were doing nothing about it. I mean,
it'd be insane.
It'd be quite a different, it'd be very insane.
Yeah,
so,
and it would be quite a different reaction from everybody else. Like, what?
Yeah, totally.
Because obviously you guys lead by example as well, and so for you guys to sit there and do something like that would be really, really nuts. So, like, what are you doing in regards to, like, with your time now? I mean, aside from taking naps and whatnot, what are you doing with your time now?
So I have 2 little boys at home, Matthew and Alex, that are 7 years old, and they're very busy. And so a lot of it is just trying to keep them from destroying the house, keep their little minds busy, some kind of constructive, whether it's crafts or trying to, incorporate school learning in some way, somehow, science, game, it's been so much, even just getting outside, trying to learn how to ride the bike without training wheels. Even there's moments where, they'll say, Dad, what are we doing next? And I'll say, Dad needs to rest. We are resting now.
No kidding.
They're still like, what? We need to rest? Why do you need to do that?
Right.
So,
how old are your kids
it's
again?
kind of a hard balance to do that.
How old are your kids again?
7. They just turned 7.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. They're pretty active, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I have a little help here, and I try to get my naps in when I can, and then try to take the reins. And like, I know I was doing this now, and so I made dinner earlier, so that's done. Yeah. Now I can just relax, the rest of the evening. So.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, I appreciate you coming on and talking this thing out with me and everything. I do have to ask you, like, how do you? I mean, I know we tapped on a little bit, but I mean, how are you feeling in regards to, like, just how are you feeling about, like, the outcome of everything right now? Like, now that they're saying 30 to maybe, I mean, President Trump says 30 days. Governor Parson says 30 to 60. A good, in the state of Missouri. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that we're going to be able to get back to some sort of normality or normalcy here soon?
I sure hope so. I hope that whatever means need to be taken to keep us healthy and safe are taken. That's first and foremost. Like, I'm not an expert in that category or type of work, and I certainly don't, consider myself to be an expert in any of this kind of, like, pandemic talk.
Right.
But just for my own, own self, it's one of those where at first it's like, okay, we're going to be in quarantine. It's like, yeah, you get it. And then now that it's been setting in, it's like, oh, it's starting to, like, pull on your nerves a little bit.
Yeah.
So any little thing that I can do that I find pleasure in, I'm trying to do. Even the other day, we went to the grocery store and bought this big chocolate cake.
Ooh,
and I said, you know what? If we're going to be in the house, we might as well eat cake.
A word. Word so hard. I give that. That sounds so good right now, because I think I might do the same dang thing. That sounds fire right now.
Yeah, it's just doing the things you love, remembering those things, even getting outside now that the weather's warming up, I like doing yard work. I'm looking forward to being able to do some of that. I planted some grass seed in some of the bald spots last week. Just trying to occupy my time, man. I mean, seriously, I started reading books again. I'm like, who am I?
It's weird, right? It's weird. Like, holy cow.
I do miss the gym, though.
Yeah.
I see all these home videos of people working out at home, and I'm not that guy. I cannot work out at home. I never have been able to. That's one thing that I'm struggling with big time.
I feel you, man. I just did that for the very first time today. I just did a at-home workout for the first time today, and I felt so accomplished. I'm not gonna lie. I'd like jumped back and kissed myself 5 times. I felt so good about myself.
What did you do?
I did a ladder, so a descending ladder. I just did a quick. Well, one, I just did some jump rope at first, just to warm up. But then I did I basically did a ladder. So I did 50 jump ropes, and 10 snatches with a dumbbell. And then, but it was 10 on each arm, because I only have one dumbbell right now so far. I'm now trying to buy more equipment now as we speak, for crying out loud. So I did that. So it was 50, 10, 48, 36, 24, 10, 2. And then I did that 2 times over. And so, yeah, and you're doing that as fast as you can. Obviously, you're trying to go through it as fast as you can on the timer. So it's a lot of work.
How long did it take you?
I got through 2 Missy Elliott songs. I didn't time myself, man. I just literally just went through it. I was just like, bang. I'm like, all right, I got these 2. I got Get Your Freak On. And
I was about to say old school Missy or new school Missy?
Old school Missy all day long.
Missy or big Missy?
Yeah, she was like in betweeny. So Get Your Freak On was Biggie, big Missy Elliott, and then I did what's that song? Because I have Get Your Freak On in my head right now. I forgot the name of it. Work It. I think it's called Work It. Flip it down.
Oh yeah.
Flip it in reverse. Yeah, there you go. So, I did. I was like, I'm gonna get through. I'm putting these 2 songs on, and I'm gonna get through this. If I don't finish by the end of these 2 songs, then then shame on me, type of thing. So I just gave myself a goal and just went to town.
Yeah. See, it's been 2 weeks for me, and I haven't done. I haven't even jogged up the stairs.
Man,
that first day back in is going to be
treacherous.
Rough.
It's going to be treacherous.
I have watched a lot of Netflix and Hulu, though.
Oh, see, I feel you on that. So then what are you binge watching right now, man?
My brain's been working. So I just finished. Okay, so I kind of been jumping around. So I watched Madam C.J. Walker, which was phenomenal.
Really? It was good?
It several times, actually.
I heard it was not good.
I loved it.
I heard it wasn't good.
I loved it. Well,
I'm going to check it out.
I'm a big fan of all things black. And so right away, I was just into it.
Gotcha.
And then once I found out the story about it, that C.J. Walker's from St. Louis, and then it ties in Annie Malone. And I'm like, oh, we have the Annie Malone Mayday Parade. So for me, there was this interest of like, oh, it's local. Right. And I love Octavia Spence. So I just was all in.
Okay.
And so I would just finish that one. But I just started watching that silly show, The Tiger thing that everybody's talking about.
Tiger King.
And I'm on the 2nd episode, and so it's really silly. It's kind of weird.
It is. It is another experience.
It's something to watch while you're in the house. Yeah.
Yes, if you're bored, this is the perfect show to watch, especially during quarantine.
I did see The Invisible Man. You know how they have some of the theater releases out?
Oh, yeah.
I went ahead and rented that. That was good. I'm a big fan of the girl who plays that Handmaid's Tale lead.
Oh, yeah. Elizabeth Moss. Yeah.
She's dope. It was nice how they redid it. It wasn't the same Invisible Man. So if you're expecting something, very similar to what you saw with Kevin Bacon, it's completely different.
Totally different.
So I appreciated that.
It was a good spin. I really liked the spin on that one too.
Yeah.
So, have you been watching Ozark yet?
So I just watched the first episode of the new season. So I had watched it when it was out before, but you forget it's out and you have to go back and watch a few episodes to kind of refresh my memory.
That was my biggest problem. I'm watching this season and I'm like, what happened? And then I'm like, and then I was like, damn, these kids went through puberty hard. Like puberty smacked them with the puberty stick so hard across their face. I was like, dang, this kid grew like a weed. I'm like, his voice dropped 7 octaves. I'm like, dang. Yeah, I'm like, dang. Wow, he's going to sit there and say, I just got a girl pregnant. Just wait, teenage pregnancy anytime now. Like, what the hell's going on? So,
oh my God.
But you know what I'm saying? It was like so fast for me. It was so fast. But then it feels like it was how they grew. But the show has been off for so long, or given the fact that most of us are binge watching these shows in 2-3 days, and then we don't see it for another year.
Right.
So then we come back to it. It's like, what did we watch? What happened? You know what I mean? But I guarantee you, if there was ever a second season of Tiger King, everyone would remember that trash.
There will be something very similar, I think.
Homie, did you hear? Cardi B is trying to start a petition to get the Tiger King out of jail.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say. You don't know anything because I don't want to spoil. Well, I just kind of spoiled.
I'm like, I haven't got that far, but okay.
Damn. My bad. Well, you already know in the very first episode, they're already talking about him being like possibly, like about to get incarcerated.
I might have to go back and watch it. There are like bits and pieces when you have kids where you're trying to like watch a show and then they come running through, and then you got to rewind it and then keep rewinding it.
Oh yeah. It's child rearing ADD. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, honey, it's over there. It's over there. Pick up the Legos. Pick up. Oh, we gotta start this again. Reasons why I don't have kids, man. Not yet, at least. I'm not sitting here saying that I don't want kids. I'm just
straight birth control.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always have the goalie, guys.
Stories. I got plenty of stories. Whenever you feel like you want to have kids, come holler at me.
Yeah, he'll be like, don't do it.
I'm like, if you have anything nice, it's destroyed.
Exactly.
It's already destroyed.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
I hear them upstairs jumping around now.
Yeah. Anything for the kids, man. Anything for the just make sure you don't have like your car that's a cherry or something like that. Dad's cherry. Yeah. Dad's cherry. Don't get one of those classic cars because you know for a fact as soon as they turn 16, they're gonna steal that mess. Watch.
Yeah, that's why I got a Subaru.
Exactly. You're like, here you go, kids. Here's my Subaru from 20 years ago.
I'm like one of those old people. I took real good care of it. It's got 200,000 miles on it, and it still works.
It's got 2 million miles on it, son. Still hums like a hummingbird. Come on. Anyway, man, I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me and chop it up a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
it was good to break up the energy, being in the house.
It's important. These kind of things are important. This is what we're here for, right? Get on Skype or FaceTime and just...
Or Zoom. Where did Zoom come from? All of a sudden, everybody's Zooming.
But see, here the thing is, though, Zoom is making that money now. They're finally like, we're finally important. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, finally.
Told you. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I knew it.
Yeah, they're probably the only people celebrating.
Yeah, they're the only ones doing cartwheels right now. And then sanitizing their hands as soon as they got done doing cartwheels. But anyway, of course, I appreciate you coming through, sitting down with me and everything. You know what I mean? Stay healthy, stay positive.
Likewise.
Don't kill your kids. You'll be all right.
We'll try not to catch the case.
Anyway, man. Hey, be good out there, man. All right, and I'll be talking to you soon. All right.
All right. Good chatting with you, man.
All right, man. Peace.
See ya.
Oh man. So anyway, people are. I really appreciate everybody who's been taking the time to FaceTime and all that, Skype in, the whole nine, you know what I mean? And he's just one of those guys that's one of my boys, who is just a really awesome guy, but also at the same time, just, it's just nice to, like he said, break up the energy. Sometimes breaking up the energy is important. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to break up that energy. Anyway, we got to get to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a breakdown of a video because I think it's important that we check this one out. I think it's, it's important. We'll be right back. This is the Pascal Show. Bye!
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
Live it up, live it up, live it up.
Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
Imagination, Image a World. IDEX Media.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, baby.
Hey, it's Mike from Sugarfire. Still open all of our locations. Carry out, delivery, curbside. Call in. We're delivering outside of our range too. So if you get hungry, come on by.
All right, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for checking out this show. Like I always say, if this is your first time checking out this show, please go hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And of course, we have a YouTube and Facebook page. We have our Facebook page. Crush that like button on our Facebook page. Now, this is the time to talk to y'alls out there. You know what I mean? Because everybody's sitting here, on here. You know, we're on YouTube, of course, people looking and checking out what we're doing and everything. So, Debbie, how you doing? What's good? James, how you doing? Banks, what's a guan? What's good, man? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it has been a crazy day. There's been some new news that has been some new news that has been going on. All this, they're saying that we're going to be still doing this social distancing thing for another 30 days nationally, but at least in my state, the governor of this state said that we would have to do maybe 30 to 60 days. It hasn't been completely confirmed, but we are going to see what happens after 30 days. Hopefully, after 30 days, we get to go basically back to normal to a certain extent. Maybe we just slowly, release some liberties and some fair things, that we can do as far as being a part of humankind again, part of being in the public and being an active member of society on the outside of our domiciles. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that happens. But there is something that I wanted to show you guys that I just thought was interesting. First off, no, they're not black walls, Debbie, just so you know. They're not black walls. I wanted, and I'm glad, thank you so much for noticing. That's what I'm going to say first. Thank you so much for noticing, but no, they are not black walls. They are a blue, like a dark navy blue. That's the best way I could say it. I forgot the name of the actual paint, but I love it. I love it. Obviously, I'm not done with everything else, and that's good, Banks, that you like taking showers. Good job. Good on you. Good on you, Banks. Good on you. It's good that you take showers. That's good. It's a step in the right direction. So this is the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about because there's some stuff that's going on, and this has a lot to do with things like... Oh, and before I go into this, okay. Now, I'm not done with this room. As you can tell, there's an echo in this room. That's number one. Number two, I'm still doing a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be on the walls and all that stuff. You know what I mean? There's going to be all kinds of stuff in the background, some really nice decoration and shelves and all that. It's going to be really, really nice behind me. All the stuff that's going to be on this wall is going to be really, really nice. So before you start going, all like, I don't know if I like it or not, give it some time. It's still in its embryo stasis. We're still building as we go. But I will take this color any day over that beige, brownish color that was on the walls. It was driving me nuts. So now I can actually make the room dark if I want. I can lighten it up if I want it as well. And that I'm really happy about that. Real talk. I'm really happy about that. But like I said, I like this color. And like I said, there's going to be more going on in the background. So just you wait and see. You know what I mean? You'll see. Anyway, moving on. As I was saying, now, there's a lot of things that are going on right now in regards to nurses, all right? A lot of the healthcare service, a lot of people that are in the healthcare service industry are, there's just a lot of tension going on right now. And there's this particular woman that has gone viral just over the past 48 hours, maybe 24 hours. And she's a nurse at a particular hospital, and she went viral just the other day because she quit her nursing job live on her Instagram story. And there's a little bit of a backstory, or she explains why she quit on Instagram. So we're gonna go take a look at it. I'd like to hear it. Here we go.
So I basically, I just got to work. I'm not trying to be unprofessional. I'm upset. I just quit my job. I clocked in, find out that I'm being sent to a corona floor when they know that I have kids at home who I can't send away for, to stay away from me. My manager sent me to a floor that is being tested for corona. She knows my health history. She knows all of this. I quit. I care about the patients and all, but my family and my life, they matter. They come first. Lavika Stewart is evil.
Whoa, she
She's
called her
evil.
out.
She knows my health history. I told her my kids don't have anybody to go to while they're here. I can't send my kids away like everybody else. I'm done. I'm leaving. My life matters and my kids matter. Screw this.
Okay, so that literally just happened just a couple days ago, just about a day or two ago, and she's gone viral. She's obviously been under a lot of stress, obviously. You can hear it in her voice that she's very emotional. Obviously, she's very upset. That makes total sense. You're in a situation where you are not in a healthy situation. Like, you're not healthy enough to be able to handle a situation like this, to be able to go put yourself in the front lines of something so hardcore, and yes, Debbie just said just a second ago, even some doctors, are being put in a situation where maybe they have an immune deficiency situation, or maybe they're on immune depressant type of medication because of some sort of ailment. And they're getting thrown into the front lines of this whole thing because, yes, we're in a situation where there's not enough people in the healthcare services to handle the flood of people getting sick. Now, I totally understand where this woman is coming from. I feel terrible for her, absolutely terrible for her, because, yeah, she's not lucky enough to be able to just take her kids to a babysitter or anything like that, or take the kids to maybe some extended family type of situation where their grandmother or their grandfather could watch over the kids while she's doing the stuff over there. Then there's the fear of her contracting the virus and then going home and giving it to her kids. That's terrible. Then on top of that, there is not enough PPE, which is personal. What is it called? I forgot what it's called. This is not enough proper equipment. Okay, proper personal protective equipment. There's not enough of that going on as well. And so you're running out of all this stuff. Then you have a boss that clearly knows your physical ailments or any of the situations that you might have physically inside, and she still puts you on the floor. She still puts you over towards ground zero. I don't know. I just think that's really messed up. I could see why she wanted to quit. I could see why she's so upset and angry. But then I got to play devil's advocate a little bit here. What about all the other women and men, all the other nurses that are getting put on that same floor. What about them? They've been working for 13, 14 hours. Just this morning, I was watching a video. It was basically like a vlog of a nurse that was working a whole week nonstop of 13 to 14-hour days. Being around this, seeing this, taking care of people, ventilating people, you know, I mean, I don't know all the technical terms, but I mean, her having emotional breakdowns a couple times a week, a couple times during that week of her just vlogging her week. And you got to think, like, those women and those men and women that are over there, they're in the forefront. They're on the battlegrounds as well, and they need time. They need time to get away as well. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not sitting here saying anything negative at all, because of course I commend every single person that has ever said, you know, I'm going to pull up my bootstraps and walk in through that front door. That is the biggest step ever, going into that hospital or going into that facility and taking care of all those people that are sick. I commend every single person that does that. And I don't blame this woman for quitting strictly because of fear of contracting something, given the fact that she's already battling other ailments, other pre-existing ailments that she already has. I don't blame her for doing that. But of course, I just had to throw out the devil's advocate thing, because there's so many other girls, so many other men and women out there, so many other nurses that are literally putting their lives on the line every single day that kind of deserve a break every once in a while, don't you think? Then there was another woman that another nurse quit because there was not enough PPEs and not enough proper equipment to protect themselves with, that the supplies are getting low, and she just didn't want to risk it anymore. Now, I don't blame her. Like I said, I'd rather jump in front of a speeding bullet than deal with this disease, or this virus. It is terrifying. I at least know where the bullet is going. You know, I at least know that this virus is anywhere. You know, it's terrifying, you know? So it's just something to think about. It's just something to think about, you know? And like I said, I am not knocking her for quitting. It's unfair what her boss did, especially if the boss knows her situation, clearly knows what's going on with her, and yet she doesn't do anything. She just puts her on the floor. That's a little uncouth in my personal opinion, you know? But I do have to say that I kind of feel for a lot of women and men out there that are nurses that haven't even had a break yet, that are literally working themselves to the bone. Some of them are actually contracting the virus because they're just standing in it every single day, facing it every single day. There was a nurse that killed themselves because they contracted the coronavirus and did not want to give it to their children. Like, we're dealing with something that's heavy and serious. So I understand not wanting to be there and not wanting to be in the midst of it, but at the same time, I don't know. There's so many other people out there that need a break. Because God forbid, what if because they're so sleep deprived, because of sleep deprivation, they make a mistake that they would never normally make if they were bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You feel me? So, I don't know. Comment down below and let me know what you think on this situation, because I know that there's a lot of women and men out there that are nurses, that are in this field, that are doctors as well. I would love to hear their opinions on this, because I understand that nurses and doctors took the Hippocratic Oath. So in a way, they're obligated to be in the front lines. But I've always wanted to know what their personal opinions are, because they're there every single day. I can only imagine what they're really thinking. Yes, they're trying to save the world and they're trying to save people, but at the same time, there are some selfish moments for all of us that just want to survive, that just want to live to see another day, to see our children, to see our loved ones, so on and so forth. So I'm just interested to see what people have to say about that. Because we all want to live, we all want to survive, we all want to have a happy life. We don't want to die from this terrible situation, this terrible virus. So, I don't know. I know what I just said was kind of in and out, like I understand her quitting, but then I feel for the other nurses and doctors that are still there, that don't have the obligation or don't have the ability to just say, I quit. Because if they do that too, then everybody else will quit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We need a hero. You know what I mean? I think. Anyway, comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'm listening to this. Let's see. I heard a woman have more of a chance to survive than males because of the X chromosomes. I heard that same thing. I heard that men are dying a lot more than women, for sure. That is definitely true. But you never know. It could be because of age, or I don't know. I don't know what the story is, but yeah, I've heard that as well. Let's see. Yeah, the people at the grocery stores most definitely have it hard too. And I feel for them big time, but they're not really dealing with it where people are literally sick, that are just on a bed with the respirator. You don't have to, those grocery store workers do not have to touch anybody if they don't want to. Whereas these nurses and doctors are touching these people every single day. They are in that mess. They're in that petri dish of germs and virus just floating around. No matter how much they're protected and how much protective gear they have or don't have, they're swimming in that abyss of that virus. And it's terrible, terrible. James, the front line is tough. Ask Hawkeye. Get out of here. Yes. Yes, people who are taking their lives is absolutely insane. People are literally doing that. And it's terrible. It's really, really terrible. Virus ain't going to get me. If it does, I'm drinking Lysol. Man, you're crazy. Yeah, no kidding, Banks. That was darker than intended. Too sloppy to comment this morning. Man, what were you doing, Debbie? Dang. Let's see. Okay, now you guys are just talking to each other. All right, that's totally fine. But I would love to hear, you guys, what your thoughts are on it all, because it is such an interesting situation. Like I said, it's scary. This whole situation is very, very scary. And I don't, like I said, I don't blame nurses, any nurse or any person that's in the healthcare industry wanting to step down or wanting to step aside, wanting to quit. I don't blame them, but it's just, man, it is really tough. Like I said, it's a tough job. And, a lot of people, a lot of A lot of people in this industry did not sign up for all of this, for this whole pandemic. And so I can't be mad at anybody for feeling any type of way or wanting to step down or wanting to quit, And yeah, I think it's really messed up that the lady, her boss, had the audacity to put her on that floor when I'm sure she's had multiple conversations with her saying, hey, this is not cool, This is not cool at all. But you never know. Maybe the boss was running low on nurses, was juggling a lot of people's schedules, realizing that there's a lot of people that are working, 6 to 6, 12 to 12, 9 to 7, or 9 to 9, 7 to 7, whatever it might be, constantly, and just said, hey, we need to have you down there for a day. I don't know, it's terrible. I hate hearing people doing that. And then, like I said, with the lady who decided to step down because she said that would be one less person using all the protective equipment, when we need that person as well. We need more nurses. We need more doctors in this situation. But yeah, it's a terrible, terrible thing. It's heartbreaking, for sure. Those are my 2 cents. And of course, Debbie, thank you so much for tuning in to the show. I really appreciate it. Your show was great this morning. I was too tired this morning. I like your buddies. Yeah, my guys are really great. They ain't dumb. They are. They love what they do, and I love them. So they're great people. Known them for a long, long time. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up today. But I appreciate everybody who tuned in and was a part of the conversation and all of that. I really appreciate it, And like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., so be sure to tune in. I do have a tennis pro that will be on tomorrow, Rachel Stolman. She'll be on. She's also a radio host on Tennis One. So it'll be a fun conversation. So be sure to tune in. She's very talented, and she's got a lot of information. So she'll be on talking about all the stuff that she does. And, yeah, and we'll shoot the ish on that tip and all that. But, of course, I appreciate everybody tuning in. If this is your first time, crush that subscribe button. We got more things to talk about. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff tomorrow, so be sure to tune in. It's going to be a great show. Anyway, like I always say, be good to yourselves, be good to one another, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Much love to you guys. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.